There we go. Okay. Hey, y'all. So I'm designing some signs today. So I thought I would come in here and show y'all what I'm doing. I do have all the stuff out for tonight. We're going to be doing the garland for my fireplace. But I thought y'all would like to see the designs I'm making because I want to show y'all some of the tricks I've learned. So this is for the sublimation. All right. So let's see here. Let me share my screen so I can show y'all what I'm doing. Okay. Hi. What's going on, y'all? Okay. So I just made this like a very short time ago. And let me pull up my Facebook so I can see what, if y'all have any questions while we're going through. All right. Here we go. Let me turn sound off. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so I made this sign a little while ago, and there's some little tricks in this one that I thought I would show you. So when I'm designing my signs for, the signs that I'm doing now, I'm using a program that comes with the Sawgrass machine, and it is called Creative Studio. Now you can do this in other, like GIMP. GIMP is a really good one. It's GIMP, but I like this one because they already have some tools in here that you can use, and it's really easy to use, and it's free. Can't beat free, right? Okay, so we're going to start over with a new one. I've already saved this one. So I'm just going to come up here and hit clear. So when you come in this program, what it does is it makes you go and pick products. Okay, and everything in here is really designed to be used strictly with sublimation. So the formats that they have in here are really for sublimation, right? So they have coasters, for example. They have ornaments. I've tried some of these. They have shirts. They have, look here, guitar picks, floor mats, flags. So you can actually do flags and pennants on here. The one that I use the most is the signs. So I come down here where it says signs, and I go to wall sign. And right here is the size that I use the most. So it's 7 by 9. You can either pick horizontal or vertical. So I generally use horizontal. And so what I do is I come in here and I'll think about what kind of stuff that I want to do. Now I have designed things kind of outside of here. And so what I do is I bring them in here, and then I use, in addition, the tools that they have in here. So I did a watermelon, couple watermelons. So let's do something with the watermelon. So I'll show you how it works when you're doing that. So if you want to bring in your own design into this Creative Studio, you go to Images, and right up here, so you can see these are all the images I've brought in to use myself. So these are either ones that I had someone else design for me, or I designed myself and brought it in. It's kind of a combination, okay? But you can come up here where it says upload, and you click on upload. Sorry, I was reading the text. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and name it watermelon. And then I'm going to click choose file. So what I do is all the designs that I make, I keep in one folder. It really helps if you're doing something like this to keep all of your designs in one folder. Then it's easy to go find it. Okay, so I have 2 different kinds of watermelons. Actually I have 4. Let's try this one. Okay, and then I just click on, I have rights to print this image, and click upload. All right, so what it's going to do is it's going to put it in here. This is all of my images here. I'm going to show you some cool tricks. Okay, so let's see if we can find, so it's going to be down at the bottom because we named it watermelon. There it is. So you bring it in. Here's the cool part. This little button up here allows you to twist it. So I can twist it. Maybe I want to put it in the corner. I want to make it larger. So I just hold down my left mouse button and grab these corners and I can make it bigger, smaller, whatever I want to do. Okay. So that's if you bring in your own image. But I want to show you something else that's cool. If you go over to designs, they have a whole bunch of designs that are preloaded in here. And if you click on a design, what happens is it is going to completely wipe out everything you've done and replace it with that. So if you want to use an image from the design section, I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, so let's see if they have a watermelon in here. I don't know if they do or not. Okay, so here we go. All right, so let's say, see, these are all different sections. Let's say we don't want that part. We don't really want that part. I kind of like this, so let's save that piece. Let's get rid of that. I kind of like this, but I want them to be like maybe, I like the writing. So what I'm just doing is moving it because it's all in different sections. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to save this as an image. Okay, and when you do something like this, you want to make sure that however you want it to look, that's what you're going to save it as, because this is going to come as one image. Now, I may not want like this, so let's just take that piece out. Let's just keep the rind and the watermelon and these words, okay? So all I did was just click on each section and you just hit your delete key to get rid of it, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and up here in the top is a button that says save. So if you click on that button, it's going to say save to my designs editable. You want to click the down arrow and click on my image. All right, and then I'm going to put summer vibes. So, you know, we may just want to save even just the wording like that, because not all of their wording kind of comes out like this. They have very few fonts in here. But the reason I wanted to show you this is because I'm going to show you exactly what I mean now. Okay, so let's clear that off. Let's say that we grab that watermelon that we had. There it is. All right. We put it in. We were happy with that. And then we wanted something else. And so we come over here to designs and put in watermelon again. And if we click on this, it wipes out everything we just did. So can you see that? Whatever we had behind it's gone. So that's why you want to, if you find something that you like in design, you want to take out all of the elements that you don't want. Let's just save the wording this time, okay? All right. And you can just save. You have to make it into an image, because what that does is that lets you layer it on top of other things. If it's a design, it's not going to let you layer it. It's going to automatically replace everything that's in there. So we'll put summer vibes words. All right. Okay, so now I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So let's grab that image that we just created. Everything in here is in alphabetical order. So there it is. So now if we go, so every time I want to add something new in here, I'm clicking up here where it says images. And now I can go down and find that watermelon, and it'll all go in the same space. So you see how that works? If I try to enlarge this, it's going to enlarge the whole piece because that's how we set it. We set this whole entire image as one image. Does that make sense? So everything that we do to this, it's going to be one whole thing. If you wanted to piece out these, you would have to do them individually. Okay? But I wanted to show you that because it's super important to understand. Because you might find something over here in designs that's super cute, but you only want little portions of it. You don't want the whole thing, because the whole thing may not really go with whatever you had in your mind that you were going to design. Let's try something else. Let's try, let's see if they have anything. Let's look at spring. Okay, so in here in the designs, they already have ones that are pretty much ready to go, right? They've already put pretty much everything on it. And so when you click on it, it's going to take up the entire space. All right, so this is super cute. But I may want to put things in the background. So if I go to images, let's say in images, there's a lot of different backgrounds. So there's this one right here. There's all different types of backgrounds. There's paint, photo. I really like this one. This one has the shiplap background in it. It has water. I've used this a lot. This is parchment paper. They have concrete up here, like blackboard right here. Then they have, this is polygon. These are scrapbook backgrounds. So you can get some pretty cool looking backgrounds. Let's see what this one is. All right, so when you find a background that you like, you see when I put the background in there, what happens is you can't see my design. And that's because it's layered. So you have to think about it like pieces of paper, right? So when you put your first design on there, that's your first sheet of paper. When you put your second sheet on, you're laying it on top. So what you have to do is you have to come up here to your toolbar, and where it says object, you have to click and move it down. You have to move it all the way to the back, okay? And then it's going to be behind your design, and you'll be able to see those layers. All right, so then you have to make sure that you have the thing selected that you want to change. So you see how it's outlined in this little gray border, and then I can kind of make it larger, and I can have the whole thing. So see, now we have a little butterfly in the background, and we have Hello Spring. You can change things in here if they are still in the design phase. Once they move to an image, everything is set. The colors are set, the placement is set, the whole thing is set. So it's important to understand that. So you can see here, this we got from images, from background. Okay, so it is just exactly like it is. You can't change it. You can't change the color. You can't change the placement of anything. However, this right here is still in the design phase, so we can change the color. So you see, if I click inside here, it gives me these color choices. If I click in wording, it gives me color choices there. I can also make them larger. Oh, awesome. So I can make them larger like that. So you see, you can make a lot of changes in here if you just use kind of the elements that they allow you to have. So this is kind of cute. If we wanted to save it, all we have to do is come up here, click on save. You want to make sure you name it. So we'll make this one Hello Spring. Okay. I'm going to leave it as editable because I might want to change something later. There we go. It takes a few minutes, but I want to show you some other things. I was working on signs today, so I thought I'd pop in here and show you while I was working on it. So I'm going to show you a trick on how to list it in your shop too. All right. So if you have just a PC computer, all the PCs come now with this program called Snip and Sketch. So if you pull up your Snip and Sketch, you can click on this button over here that says New. And if you position your mouse right up at the very top and hold your left mouse button down and drag across it, you can get a nice picture. And then you can click on the little Save As. Okay, and then you make sure you name it. Okay, so the reason that I'm showing you this is it's really hard to take a picture of these signs. It can be kind of difficult because the signs, do I have any up here? Yes. Okay, so this is the sublimation sign. It comes with this blue paper on it, and they just use that when they are, you know, cutting the signs. It keeps it from fraying out on the edges. But behind this blue paper, this blue plastic, is the sign, okay? So you can see this is very shiny. Can you see that? All right, so these are all UV protected and they're high gloss. All right, so the high gloss is what helps them to adhere the ink to it. All right, so it's really hard to take a picture on these without getting glare or without getting shadows or whatever, right? Okay, so let me show you what you do once you've gotten a design, and then we'll show you some other stuff. All right, so once you have your design set, you're happy with it, you can click up here where it says print. You're going to want to name it. Otherwise, it's going to keep saving over the same thing. And I'm going to show you why you don't want to do that. So we'll put Hello Spring. If you have something that has a lot of white background, make sure you click on this product lead line. I'm going to print it so that you can see what I mean. Just click OK. All righty. It takes a second. Okay, and then you just click here. It pulls up this little print manager, and you just click print. Okay, and it's going to send it to the machine. And don't worry, we are going to be going through Cricut and Silhouette too. I mean, not today, but we are going to be doing that stuff as well. But I was designing signs, so I thought I'd hop on here and show y'all while I was doing it. Ooh, there's not much of that left. Okay. And I'm going to show you what you do once you have printed it out, and then I will show you some other tricks. Okay, it's a coming. It's not real fast. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, of course, to me, it's backwards because it automatically inverts it. You know how when you're doing on if you're doing silhouette or cricket and you want to print something out, you have to make it do the reverse. Well, this one automatically does it. And when you print it out, what you're going to notice is the colors don't look the same. So that's another reason why it's really important that you use that little snip tool to get a picture, because it's not going to look, the camera is not going to do it justice. It's not going to give the same colors, but when you print it onto your sign, it is. So once you get your design like this, what you do is you take this part with the ink on it and you're going to put it on the white glossy part. Now you can see there is a printed black, okay camera, there's a printed black line. That is that edge I told you about. So if you have something with a lot of white in the background, that little printed black line helps a lot because it helps to show you where to put it inside the sign. So see, if you put your sign on here like this, you want to center it within those little black lines. Can you see? So you can see it right up there, right down there at the bottom. And then what you're going to do, once you get it centered, you have to have, this is a must, you have to have this heat press tape. Where's mine? This is the heat press tape. Okay, it's kind of like a yellowish orange color. And what I do is I fold the edge over the side. So this is the back part. This is the back of the page. That's where the print is. Okay. I just take a piece of this tape so you can see what it looks like. And I just tape it down right over the edge that I folded. This is super important because I'm going to tell you, when I first got it, I thought, oh, I probably don't really need to like fold the edges over and stuff like that. Well, guess what? You do. Because if you don't get a really good press and the colors won't come out like you expect them to. So I put it on top and bottom and sides. So I'll fold the sides over like that. I'll put the tape across it like that, fold it again. So when I put it on the heat press, I'm going to place it, my heat patent, okay, the patent is what keeps it hot, what heats it up. It's on the top. So I have a swing away design. If you're going to be doing signs, you really need either a swing away design or what's the other one called? The one with the drawer. That one's okay too, but the clamshells do not really work really well on making signs. So the swing away is really the best if you're going to be doing signs because the platens get hot enough. So all of them say they go up to 400, but I actually make mine 410 because I don't want the heat to go down, and it works fine. I mean, all of them should go up to 410, even if they only say that they go to 400. So what I do is my platens on the top. I think all the platens are on the top for the heat presses. So I place it down on the heat press. This is the bottom of the heat press. This is the top of the heat press. I put it just like this, and then I close the heat press and I set it for 3 minutes. So when you're doing these signs, you need 3 minutes at higher than 400 degrees, or it's not going to come out. Now, let me tell you a few tricks. Let me show you something. Let's see. All right. So the reason you want to line the stuff up really well, do you see that? White line all the way down that sign. If you don't line up the sides really well, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up with part of it not coming, not getting pressed on. Let me show you something else. When you're getting ready to put your sheets on, make sure that you check it first. This one I set in the kitchen while I went to the bathroom for a minute, came back. Someone had gotten water spots on it. Can you see them? You see those water spots on this paper? If you have anything like that, what happens is it comes out like that on your sign. Okay, you see that? So that is what happens when you have a water spot on your paper. So when you are working with these things, make sure you're not eating, drinking, or God forbid, like me in the kitchen, because you're going to go through this whole process. It's going to come out great. Then you're going to look at it and say, oh crap, there's a big old spot in it. So these things are super sensitive. You got to be really careful with them, because in a heartbeat like that, you will have ruined the sign. And really, the paper and the ink aren't nearly as expensive as having to redo these signs several times, because it's a process. It's a process of going through and redoing it. So just take it from me, because I have made the mistakes. I would rather y'all not make them. All right, now I'll show you something else. You cannot press on wood. Okay, so that is one of these sheets that I pressed on wood. I tried it a couple different times. So it just does not have enough surface for it to press on wood. You can do wood, but you actually, hey Casey, you actually have to put a coating on it. So there's a coating you can get, and we will be going through that again at another time, but there's a coating you can get to put on the wood, and then it will press onto the wood. I tried it without, and it does not work without. I mean, it kind of does, but it's not very clear. You know, it looks like a faded picture on here. So when you press these on, you're going to know that it worked, because when you take it off, the ink that's on these sheets is pretty much going to be gone. Like the sheet behind it is pretty much going to be white, because all of the ink has come off onto your sign. Now, I've heard people say that you have to take the paper off right away. You don't. It's not going to really affect it. Once it's printed on there, it's printed on there. So don't stress about it. Don't pick it up when you first take it out, because it's going to be at 400 degrees. So what you can do is you can get, what I did is I got some big cheap tiles from Lowe's, and I put it like right underneath my heat press. And then I just open up my heat press and I just like slide them out. I just like slide them out onto that little sheet and then onto that tile. And then I let it sit there. It takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes for it to get cool enough that you can touch it. So don't try to touch it before then, or you're going to burn the crap out of yourself. I wouldn't even try picking it up with gloves or anything. I would put a heat resistant surface underneath it and just slide the suckers out, because that's the easiest way to do it without hurting yourself. Yeah, and I am telling y'all this because, yeah, I've done it. I'd rather you learn from me than and not do that. Okay, so let me show you some other stuff. All right, so we'll clear this one out. So have you seen how people have like a really cool background, and then they have a little section in the middle where it's like white, and then they put their stuff in it? So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do that. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. Let's just grab a background. There is a search bar up here if you want to use it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I didn't even know they had that. That's kind of cool. I wanted to find a background that we can do something with. Here we go. These are some busy backgrounds. Let's find a busy one. Here we go. Well, hubby's home. Okay. So you see this? Not really sure what that kind of looks like, fabric. But anyways, you put a background like this, there's nothing you're going to be able to put on here that you can see, right? So I'm going to show you a way that you can put something on top of here. So if you go over to images, up in the search bar, if you type in monogram, all of these frames here are meant for monograms. Okay, so they have whatever you see in the middle. So see, like this has white, white. This one's black. This one's white. So like if we clicked on this one, you can see it puts the whole thing in here, and then we can resize it. And don't worry, we can change the colors out. Hey, honey. Right there. Let me show you another trick. So you see how I have this circle in here? Well, the problem is you never know if it's exactly centered correctly. You can come up here where it says object. You can align it horizontally and vertically, and then you don't have to worry about making sure it's in the right place. Right here are the colors. So we could change out the color, like let's say, let's do this one purple, and let's do the big section white. Okay, so now we have a surface. Hey, honey.
Hi. I left all your stuff downstairs.
Okay, thank you. I'm showing them how to make a sign.
Oh, okay.
And I'm hot.
Anyway.
See? It's just me on here, but I'm on Facebook, but they can't see you. I mean, they can see you, but you can't see them. Okay, so now we have something we could put something in. I don't really like this background, but I wanted to show you, you know, you can have the busiest background, doesn't matter. You're still going to be able to put something inside that by using the little monograms. They have all different shapes. And of course, you can stretch these out. Like if you really wanted an oval, instead of a circle, you could do that. Whoops. Okay. So there's a lot of things that you can do that you can still see that background, but you're able to put something inside it. I've had a lot of questions about how you do that. So this is how you do that. And then you can, up here at the top, okay, that's where the little text is. So you can click on the text. It just comes up with a basic text. And then let me move myself here. Right here. So this panel over here is where everything that you're seeing on here is. So if you click inside where it says simple text, you can just take that out and put in whatever you want. We'll put flower power. There we go, because this is like flower power. Now you can see that that text is way too large. But you see the little gray outline around it? We can change it, fit it inside our little place here. You can also do a lot of other things with the text. So right here, this first one are the different fonts they have available. They do not have a lot of fonts, and the fonts they do have are not very different. What about a logo? Yep, you sure can. I'll show you. Okay, so we put that flower power in there. Some of the other things that you can do, you can put an outline around it. So let's say we want to have some purple behind this, or let's do white so you can see it. Okay, so all I did was pick what size I want and the color and click OK. And you see how it outlines that? Actually, let's do a different color. It's hard to see that. Let's do purple. There, now you can see it. Okay, so you can outline it. You can also make it arch like this. Okay, so this does the arch. You can choose different types of arches. So there's arch, arc, bridge bottom, double bridge. So you can just try all of those. If you want to, you can move it around like this. Okay. All right. All right, so that's text. There's also different places you can get text within the program, but somebody asked about logo, so let me show you that. If you click up here on image and you click upload, then let's see if we can find my logo and put it in here. Let's see, my logo, I think it's in my downloads. Let's see if we can find it. It's in here somewhere. There we go. Okay. All right. You always have to click that I have the right to print. Okay, and then we're going to go find it. Let's see. Oh, I've passed it. Where is it? There it is. All right, so I can put it right in the middle there. And so that's how you can do a logo. So when you're doing the logo, one of the things that you have to keep in mind is you want to keep it within the parameters where it's not going to look pixelated. So if somebody does a logo for you, you want one that is pretty much the dimensions that you need. So make sure if you're going to do a logo that you have a pretty good logo that you would be able to do that with. Okay. All right, now let me show you the other way that you can outline something without doing the monogram. So let's take all this out. So one thing that you can do is you can do like a background. We'll just like pick one. Okay. So sometimes I like to do the scrapbook background because I can get one like in the color I want, so like this. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it much smaller like this. All right. And I can put that on top of whatever background I want. So let's see. Let's just grab one of the ones I have for Christmas. Okay, so you see how it puts it right on top automatically. And all I have to do is move it down, and then there is my little background that I created myself. Okay, so remember, you can layer these on top of each other so that you can do that specialization. It's really easy to do anything that's a square, rectangle. You know, if you want it to look like you just have a little square, a little edge around it, almost like a picture frame. So that's how you do that. And then you can put whatever you want to inside this, right? So if we were going to put another image in here, let's put, oh, let's see, what can we put in there? Let's put this one. Okay, so you see how you do that? So then it's like what you did is you framed in whatever you're doing. So you can see there's really a lot of different kinds of variations that you can make for this. I mean, really, the only limit is what you can imagine, right? It's pretty easy to do things like this. You see how it has different types of text in it? It's really easy to do these in GIMP or in Inkscape using, you can get fonts from a place called the Fonts, and then you can use that to do anything like this that you want, and then you can bring it in here, because remember, in this program, they don't have a ton of fonts. It's just not very, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to find. Oh, but anyways, once you pick out a design that you really like, all you have to do is click on the save button up here. You can print. All right, so now I want to show you why when you save and you print, you always want to name it. So let's say that you designed a sign, put it in your shop. You only made one, right? Because it's a really good idea to always make one just to see how they look. It makes sure everything looks good. And then you put it on your shop and somebody bought it. Well, the easiest way to reprint them when you come in here is when you come in, you go right up here to where you're signed into your program. And if you click on that and go to administration, it's going to bring up everything you've ever printed. Okay, so you can come through here and just check it and put however many you need to print, and then you can just click print up here. And you don't have to go through that whole process of picking the sign, putting the design back on it. You don't have to do any of that. You can just come in here and print it. So that's why you see this. All of these are named. So if you don't name them, it's just going to keep saving over the same one, and you're not going to be able to come back in here and reprint it. So it's really an important thing to understand that you can come back in here and reprint it from here. You cannot make changes from here, but you can reprint it, okay? So there's a ton of things that you can do in the creative space that you cannot do in here, but you definitely can just come in here and print them. You can also see what your last print jobs were, you know, the images that you've brought in. See, you've got all your images in here. This is if you want to import some of your own colors. If you want to group things by categories. So it's really cool. And you just click on Creative Studio when you want to go back. And it really helps you a lot because you don't have to, because every time you come in here, it's not going to let you do anything unless you go through, pick the product, blah, blah, blah. But if all you're wanting to do is print something, you can just come up here and click on that and administration, and then you'll be able to find anything that you want to print. Your other things are up here. And there we go. I know that was a lot of stuff all in one shot, but we'll do more of these. I just thought since I was designing, I would come in here and show y'all some of the stuff that I do when I'm coming up with new signs. So like I just came up with a series of new signs. You can see what I do is see how I just do exactly what I showed you how to do, right? I just do that little snip tool, and then it's easy for me to put it in my shop and I don't have to worry about it. See, so these are some of the ones you've seen before, right? So it's hard to get that kind of color just by taking a picture. So see, here's the one I did last night, except this one says the wine. So, yep. So I hope that helped you. I know several of y'all just got some machines. So I thought this would be a really good time to pop in here and show you what I do. We're also going to be doing some Cricut stuff, and we're going to be doing some silhouette stuff, and we're going to be doing just some things on signs that you can do, like how to make some of your own signs, even if you don't have a Cricut or a silhouette or a sublimation machine. So we're going to be going through some of that too, but I figured I would start with this since I was already working on it. Okay, so I am going live tonight. What time is it? It's 7:30. So I'll be going live in what, like an hour and a half. We're going to be doing a new garland for my fireplace. I was hoping we could do it downstairs. However, we have all this new furniture, and my dad put the tree right in front of the fireplace. So there's no way I could tape it and you see what I'm going to do. And the tree's already been decorated, so it would be really impossible to move it at this point. All right, so that's the tree that the kids decorate. So they've already gone down there and decorated it. So we're going to do it in here. We'll just figure out how to make it swag over so I can show you what it's going to do. Oh, such is life. Okay, y'all. Well, I will see you guys about 9 o'clock. So if you have any questions on this, just put it in the comments and I'll be sure to check on them. Okay. And we're starting a new cubby of the month, January. So make sure to be watching out for that. All right. So stay real active. If you stay real active in the group, then you have a shot at being cubby of the month and you get t-shirt and we'll call your name out and all that kind of good stuff. All right. Because the more active you are, the better your chance of success is. Right. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, Brenda has a question. Can you save the blank design canvas that you use? Yeah, absolutely you can. So like if you had a specific background or something, let's see here. Right, so if you had, let's see. Let's just do an example. Let's see. Like if you use this a lot and you wanted to put like the monogram inside it, let's do this. Okay. Let's put this one in. I think this is what you're talking about. If not, you can tell me. Let's see. Let's align it. Okay. Let's make that white. Let's make that black. So if this is like the one that you know you're going to use on a bunch of different ones, I mean, whether it's a circle or a square or whatever, if you wanted to make it into like a frame so that you could just use that every time. So let's say this is the one. Let's actually make it more of a oval like that. So if you know you're going to use this pattern a whole bunch of times when you're going to be doing your designs, you don't want to have to keep starting out. You can just save it. And there's two ways you can save it. One way is to save it so it's editable. In other words, you could still change out the colors that are in this oval. Or if you go down and you click image, what that means is that you can never change anything that's in it. You can't change the background, you can't change the colors, nothing. All right, so you would want to do that if you're going to be using something from the designs category. So it might be a good idea if you're going to be doing something that is a set background to do it both ways. One editable, one non-editable. Then you could just put maybe my favorite background like that. It takes a second. Okay. So where it's going to put it is it's going to put it in images. So if we come down here and we look, there it is. Okay, so when we select it, it's automatically going to do this. You see here, it's one whole piece. We can't change anything in the background out because it's one whole piece. We can make it larger or smaller, but we can't change anything in it. So that's if you save it. And the reason you would want to do that is because if you have something that you're going to be using in this designs, you're going to need to have a flat image in order to, because you're going to want to replace that. Or if you saved it as editable, then you can still change out the different details in here. Does that answer your question, Brenda? Let's see. Hey, Debbie. The blank. Oh, can you change so that this is saved? I have not figured out a way to do that. Although I have figured out. So if you come in here, there is one thing you can do. If you come in here and you pick one, let's just pick this one. And you go over to designs. If you've saved it as a design, it's automatically going to change that to the size that you did your design on. So that's one way that you can kind of save your favorite. So when you save it as a design, not only does it save the design, but it saves the size of the design. So that's one way you could do it instead of trying to search through. But other than that, I have not found a way that you can save your actual favorite blank. But, you know, they like to make things difficult, but it's still a very early program, so they probably just haven't figured that part out yet. That answer your question? Cool. All right, y'all. Well, I will be back in here at about 9 o'clock, and I'm just going to leave this up in here in case you want to watch it. All right. And we're going to be redoing. My mom bought this like ugly thing from Sam's, and she loves it, and I hate it. I mean, look at it. So we're going to pilfer stuff off of it, but we aren't using it because it's ugly. So I got a new one. I got a nice new one that I got from Sims, and it's LED. So we're going to decorate that up. We'll take some stuff off of here because there are some cute elements in it, but for the most part, we're going to like trash it. And we'll make her something much prettier. So, okay. All right. So I will see you guys in like an hour and a half. And for those of you who just got a new machine, if you start it up and you're having trouble, just throw some questions in here and I'll come and answer them. Or send me an email. You know, you can always reach me by email. So, all right. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye, y'all.